160cc sporty commuters are a unique breed of motorcycles. They are a notch above the plain Jane city-dwelling commuter-centric motorcycles, and they are not quite unidimensional or even too performance-oriented. They strike the right balance between accessible performance, stylishness and practicality. And just to make sure you make the most sound purchase decision of your life, we've got India's 5 top 160cc sporty commuters, and we'll be putting them through a series of challenges, and hopefully by the end of it we should have a definite victor. Each test winner is awarded 5 points, and it whittles down to 1 point for the loser, except for the special test where the points are doubled. When you arrive at a traffic signal, which one of these bikes is the best to leave the world in your mirrors? So here's our lightest tester doing the 0 to 60 km/h sprint on each one of these bikes. The Pulsar revs freely and in a livelier manner than the Apache. The former has a punchier mid-range and hence is so much easier to live with in the urban jungle. The Hero's lightness does help it eke out a narrow victory over the Gixxer. While the FZ-X's wheezy engine just doesn't match up to the rest of the lot. But all that zip is no good if you can't rein it in. So here's our most sure-footed tester dropping anchor from 80 km/h on each one of the bikes. The FZ-X continues to disappoint. While braking feedback is good, it just takes a ridiculous amount of distance to come to a dead halt. Matters are super close between the Gixxer, Xtreme and the Apache. The Gixxer has a poor initial bite. The Xtreme is not half as bad, and the Apache lacks brake feel. So there's room for improvement for all. As for the Pulsar, there's very little to complain, and dual channel ABS helps it shed speed rapidly. And despite having the better safety aid, you can do this. Now these bikes are meant to be the start point of many bikers' sport riding journey. So which one gives the most fun and is a great starter tool? For this test, I will be going around this corner, not those two, and calculating the maximum lean angle to determine the winner. How will we do that? Via the Diablo Superbiker app. Now the winner of this test is the Bajaj Pulsar N160, recording the maximum lean angle of 51 degrees. And that's not surprising because the new chassis is extremely competed and the suspension really allows you to push the bike harder into the bends. What's slightly surprising is that the Apache came in at third, not second. What happened to TVS's racing legacy, you ask? Well, the issue is not with the Apache in itself, but with this particular unit. You see, TVS didn't have one in their media fleet, so we had to ask our friend Krunal Shah for his bike. And this bike has done around 7,500 kilometers, so the tires are pretty worn. So they were not in the best of shape to take on the lean test, and they were a little squiggly compared to the Pulsar, which were purely fresh, barely done 1,000 kilometers. So if we had a fresh Apache with fresh tires, perhaps the outcome would have been different. But as it stands, the king of the corners is the Pulsar. The Gixxer has the chunkiest tire, which makes it super stable in the bends, but also hampers its agility. Lastly, the relaxed ergonomics of the FZ-X hinders you from pushing the bike harder into bends. Had we got the FZ-S like we had intended and not the FZ-X, matters would have been closer. Now, funny business aside, let's get to the slightly practical bits, starting with just how comfy the ride is on each one of these bikes, both from a rider's as well as pillion's perspective. And for this, we are bringing back the ultimate jugaad, water jug spill test. Boys, have fun.
I don't like you.
Ishan lost the rock paper scissors toss and was the pillion for the test. Manal's objective was to keep the bikes at 40 km/h. As expected, the FZ-X's supple ride meant it spilled the least amount of water. The Xtreme's pliant ride did help its cause, earning the second spot. Surprisingly, the Apache with its mushy rear end and quick rebound causes a bit of wallowiness. Hence, instead of running flat, Ishan was constantly bobbing up and down, spilling more water in the process. However, it wasn't as much as the Pulsar and the Gixxer, which are both set up on the firmer side. From the rider's perspective, the Gixxer feels a little extra stiff. Bajaj certainly wanted to make the Pulsar N160 the best when it comes to city rideability. No wonder then that its roll-on figures are the quickest amongst the lot, and it has the most frugal motor in the urban jungle. The Apache forces the rider to work the gearbox a fair bit to keep it chugging along in the city, so it doesn't perform as well. The Gixxer might have lost out on its zestiness, but it still packs an efficient engine. It delivered the second best city fuel efficiency and was the best out on the highway. The Apache's better top-end performance does enhance its highway riding abilities and comes in second. .160cc bikes are getting fancier by the day. While we do feel that traction control, ride modes and span adjustable levers will not make a huge difference to the riding experience, it is a welcome addition nonetheless. Things like a radial rear tire, USB charger and turn-by-turn navigation do help. Hence, here's the feature list of each bike, and the Apache turns out to be the most feature-packed bike of them all. Bajaj's slightly analog approach with the Pulsar earns it the last spot. We purposely didn't mention about the LED headlights in the features section, as every bike gets it, but which one is the best? The worst of the lot is the FZ-X, and this has been a problem with Yamaha's FZ series of bikes for quite some time. Bajaj, on the other hand, does headlights brilliantly, and the Pulsar lights up dimly lit roads superbly. Considering all the feature-loaded top trims, the most affordable one of the lot is the Hero Xtreme 160R, with the Pulsar a few ₹100 dearer. Suzuki has quite literally priced the Gixxer out of reach for many buyers, narrowly edging closer to the 200cc segment. And the final test is the emotional test. Which one of these bikes connects with you the most? Which one of them speaks to your heart the most? Which one of them makes you feel as though you are one with the machine? And that bike is, or rather, the bikes are both the Pulsar and the Apache. Now starting with the Pulsar. That brand is synonymous with sport biking for a lot of kids in India who've grown up wanting to pull off crazy stunts, go sport riding, And in this avatar, it's become a much better all-rounder. Not to forget the Apache. If that is a stunter's delight, this is a racer boy in the making. And you get to know why the Apache is such a clinical motorcycle. It wants you to go faster, lean more, carry more pace into corners. And while both take a very different approach to sport riding, it is a very hard decision to pick between one of the two. So instead of giving one bike 10 and one bike 8, we decided to give both bikes 9 points each. And as a result, the final tally is... Now it's quite disheartening to see how the mighty Japs have fallen in this segment. Because you remember, they were the ones who created the sporty 160cc class. First with the FZ-16. And the shocking thing is, it's the Yamaha FZ-X which is in 5th position in this segment. And the Gixxer is 4th. The FZ-16 created the class, the Gixxer made it its own. And now, the FZ-X is now nothing more than a commuter, one to just do your city bidding. I mean, even the FZ series as such, it's not really exciting, it's just good for comfort and maybe if you want to extract good fuel efficiency. But the Gixxer was the bike which we loved because of its great handling and that punchy motor performance. The handling is still there. It still has the best ergonomics in the class. The way you sit on the motorcycle makes you feel one with the bike. But that punch, that zest, it's lost. It's become very thunder. And what makes us hurt even further is that the Gixxer is the costliest bike here. It certainly isn't living up to its price tag. What does make us quite happy is how well the Indians have progressed in this segment. As in 3rd place is the Hero Xtreme 160R. It's certainly a leap forward from previous 150cc to 160cc bikes that Hero has made. The Xtreme 160R, well, isn't great in this company, but it's a very good bike, a very good commuter, and it likes to do its sporty bits as well. It is one of the lightest bikes here, and it is also one of the most feature-packed as well as one of the most affordable bikes here. No wonder that Hero is finding quite a niche market for this bike, although there are better color schemes on offer. Moving on, and the king has finally been dethroned. It is no longer the TVS Apache RTR 164V that is ruling the class, but the Bajaj Pulsar N160. I mean, the Apache is still packing its highway performance, its top speed. It's still a race-ready motorcycle. And you will find it quite thrilling out in the twisties. But where the Pulsar truly shines is just how accessible it is getting to those thrill zones. It has a taut suspension, the chassis is well set up to take on our beautiful roads, and once you sit on the bike, you feel a lot more connected than on the Apache. The Apache still manages to thrill you with techie features like turn-by-turn navigation, smartphone connectivity, and if you buy the top spec version, you also get adjustable levers. But there is one feature that is there only on the Pulsar and not on any single one of these bikes that is paramount to a buyer, and we recommend that you should have, and that is dual channel ABS. And Bajaj is offering the aid at a price point lower than nearly all of its competitors. So just for that point, the Pulsar takes the crown. But having said that, if you were to buy either the Pulsar or the Apache, maybe even the Xtreme, but certainly not the Yamaha or the Suzuki, you would be a happy person. What do you think about our verdict? Do let us know in the comments below. Pulsar fanboys, Apache fanboys, have a go at it in the comments section. Please be civil. Let me know what else you would like us to compare in the future. Do like and share this video. Subscribe to ZigWheels, hit that bell notification icon. And until next time, bye.